Good morning. Well, for you, it's the afternoon. For me, it's the morning. And we're going to keep reading Geronimo Stilton. Today, we are reading chapter 17. And the title of this chapter is One Skull. What do you guys think is going to happen? Okay. The plan was to leave at 6 o'clock the next morning. But by 4 o'clock, my cousin was already up and about. "Raccoons, we are leaving!" Trap shouted through a megaphone made of banana leaves. Thea grabbed a coconut and hurled it at his head. "Do you realize what time it is?" she shrieked, chasing him around shelter. "When I catch you, I'm going to use your fur to make earmuffs." So the word hurled for you younger group just means throw. So she grabbed a coconut and threw it, and it bonked Trap on the head. Trap just giggled. "If you don't hurry, I'm going to leave without you," he shouted through the megaphone. "I'm ready to rock, ready to roll, ready to rumble!" And here you can see there's a little illustration of a skull at the top. That is what we call foreshadowing. That's giving us a little hint about what is to come in this chapter. "Ready to party! Ready to go! Go! Go!" Thea was tearing at her whiskers in rage. "You are the one who brought him along," she yelled at me. "If you don't hurry, I'm leaving without you." And here is a great illustration of Trap with the banana leaf megaphone shouting at Thea and Geranimo. It's a pretty good megaphone out of leaves. I don't know how he got them to stay solid. I bet banana leaves are pretty large. I wanted to say, "Actually, it was your idea." But I stopped myself. The look in my sister's eyes was murderous. It's written in weird writing. It's hard to tell the letters. We set out in a single file. We marched all day long. By evening, we came to What's the Point Peak. Thea pointed at the map. We reached the location of the first skull. Listen to this secret message. If you find a big rock the color of cheese, don't run around, don't even sneeze. Somewhat puzzled, I looked around. "This must be the rock on the map," I said, pointing to a round, cheddar-colored boulder. "It looks good enough to eat." I took a few steps forward. "But there is nothing to see here, just some sand. Actually, a whole bunch of sand." I didn't get to finish my sentence. I was beginning to sink. "Look at me," I giggled. "Look, the sand has reached my ankles." "No, my knees." Thea's eyes opened wide. She was not laughing. "Geronimo, I have bad news for you," she called. What bad news?" I asked, watching the funny sand. "Geronimo," my sister squeaked, "I think that's quicksand." I gulped. "Thundering catnails, quicksand?" I squeaked. "Help!" The sand had already reached my belly button. "Stop flapping your arms," shouted Thea, holding holding her paw out. But I kept flapping and flapping. Help! I shouted as the sand reached my ears. Oh my gosh, can you guys imagine being in sand that is up to your ears? That would be terrifying. Trap raced over, carrying a long green vine from a nearby tree. Grab hold of this, cousin, if you ever want to squeak again, he said. And here is an illustration of Trap reaching down his vine to hopefully save Geranimo. What chapter was this? 17. Okay, so the next one is chapter 18. 2 skulls. What? The last chapter was 1 skull, and it didn't tell us anything about a skull, eh? What do you guys think is going to happen in this chapter of 2 skulls? Do you think it's related? Once again, Trap had saved my life. Why, oh why, did I ever agree to take this trip? I must be losing my marbles. When I get back to New Mouse City, my fur will have turned white from all the scares. I mumbled. If we ever get back, that is, added Trap in a grim voice. He always knew how to cheer me up. The next morning, we crossed Mole Hill Mountain and marched along the banks of the Flirinder River. Finally, we sighted Hard as Nails Hill. This is it, announced Thea. The place of 2 skulls. Not much illustration on this page, but I'll show it to you anyway. Just the 2 little skulls at the top. I shivered. What would we find this time? More quicksand? Exploding boulders? Grouchy Grandma One Whisker with a plate of her disgusting Swiss cheese muffins? I have no idea who Grunchy Grandma One Whisker is, or if that's a reference to something that I'm not familiar with. But if you guys know what that's referring to, please message me so I can learn too. And her disgusting Swiss cheese muffins. I looked around. We were in a clearing with one very tall tree standing in the center. It was loaded with big yellow fruit that looked sort of like pineapples. Thea read aloud the secret message about the 2 skulls. Beware of the honey tree. Its fruits are known to sing. Listen, but don't touch, or you will feel this sting. Trap stepped forward. Fruits that sting? Well, that's ridiculous. Let me take one of them. Ratoons. I'll knock one down with a stone, and then we'll see. Stop! Don't do it, I shrieked. And here is a illustration of a stop sign with him yelling stop. And there's nothing really illustrated on this page. Just some cool letters. Here at the top it says very tall, the tree, and the words are tall too. Pretty clever. Don't worry, Darrykins, my cousin laughed. So what if they sting? Anyway, I'll just avoid touching them. See? He. He pitched a stone right at the biggest fruit in the center. Don't call me Jerry Kit, I started to say, but I stopped in mid-sentence. The yellow fruit was not a giant pineapple. It wasn't even a fruit at all. It was a giant beehive. Bzzz. Help! We screamed together. The beehive was oozing thick golden honey. Within seconds, swarms of bees flew out from the honeycombs hanging on the branches. Bzzz! Hurry! Hurry to the river! Shouted my sister. We raced to the river with the bees right on our tails. Bzzz! Then we dove headfirst into the water. The current carried us downstream. When we reached the bank, the bees were gone. Thea pulled out her map. Let's see. To our left is Hard as Nails Hill, and in the front of us is Pirate's Peak. That means if we go forward, we'll hit 3 skulls. And here is a picture, again, an illustration of the map. Oh my goodness gracious. I can't believe they got out alive. You don't ever, I know this is a fake story, but you don't ever want to touch a beehive. Not only because the beehive, the bees are disappearing and we want to protect that animal species, but also because too many bee stings can really hurt you and send you to the hospital. And if you're allergic, it could be even worse. So don't listen to this made-up story and touch a beehive-like trap, okay? I hope you guys are enjoying. That was a really fun couple of chapters with a lot of action-filled. I want to know what you think happens next. What are your predictions? Do you think, what's the next obstacle that Geranimo, Thea, and Trap are going to overcome to get to the treasure or to get home? What do you guys think is going to happen? I hope that you have a great afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.